Hey everyone, we're going to take a look at how I defeated Heroic Grand Widow Faerlina, the second heroic boss of the Curse of Naxxramas adventure. I'm using a specially tailored paladin deck for this fight. The most glaring way in which the deck is specially tailored is that it has a lot of low-cost minions and other low-cost cards. And the reason for this is that Faerlina's hero power, especially on heroic difficulty, is extremely dangerous. So it is imperative to keep your hand as small as possible.
The light protects me.
On these early turns, my main concern is to just clear as many cards out of my hand as possible, even if they're not exactly optimally used, as you can see here with the Abusive Sergeant, because I just want to get my hand to be very small so that her hero power becomes essentially completely useless.
Get down! Reporting for duty.
The worshippers that she plays on heroic difficulty are reasonably strong, and they also buff her attack by 3. So taking them out is an absolute priority because otherwise you will run out of health very, very quickly before you can do anything else. I used 2 cards there to kill 1 worshipper, but overall I think that is probably worth doing.
Bring out your dead. The damned stand ready.
Obviously I had no real way to play equality there, so I just opted to put whatever I could on the board and out of my hand.
Let the pain speak to me.
This ends up being a very good equality board here, and as luck would have it, I also draw a Consecration, so the combo is perfect. This sets Faerlina's board back massively and also means I only have 1 card in my hand, which is really excellent and what you should be aiming for.
First kill. The battle. The widow embraces me. The widow embraces me.
This is a turning point of the game because if I leave 2 worshippers up on the board, there's absolutely no way that I will survive. And to take them out, I need to use Leroy, which I end up doing.
Time's up. Let's do this.
This was quite wasteful in terms of my Worgen Infiltrator, and perhaps you would have been better off just crushed into the other worshipper, but I opted to just take a source of attack out in that turn. In hindsight, it might have been not the most efficient play. I decided to take the other worshipper out here again at the cost of a minion, but it just had to be done.
Get in there and fight, maggot! Reporting for duty. Get in there and fight, maggot!
The situation looks quite dire for me at this point, with my health being extremely low and Faerlina still at 35, but her board has suffered greatly, and she is In effect, she is no longer a threat, with 2 cards in hand and a hero power that does almost nothing. The second equality comes in quite handy in this situation, allowing me to once again almost clear her board. Obviously, you want to leave the eggs up for as long as possible, if possible until the very end of the game, because normally they have no way of attacking, and until they hatch, they are no threat whatsoever.
The battle! Taste my steel! Get in there and fight, maggot!
My health is obviously much too low to allow for any form of ignoring Faerlina's board, so I need to try to take out as many of her minions as possible, keeping in mind that by using Avenging Wrath, I will almost certainly trigger the second egg, so I opt to trigger it first so that Avenging Wrath actually hits the minion that spawned from it. This was a little bit of a gamble here, but I would have been able to clear out her minions anyway with the minions I had on the board. Fortunately, I'm able to do it keeping my Abusive Sergeant alive, which is quite excellent. The game is almost won here by me. I'm in a very good position. The only concern is my low health, keeping in mind that there are no heals in this deck whatsoever. I used Consecration first here just to ensure that Avenging Wrath only hits the Acolyte of Pain once, so I don't give Faerlina more cards than needed.
The battle! The battle! Sever my wrath! Join me in death.
The Divine Favor here is an excellent draw, and the cards that it then draws obviously are extremely strong, giving me a number of ways to finish the game. And there you go. That is how I defeated Heroic Grand Widow Faerlina with a deck specifically created for this task. We have this deck as well as a few other decks specifically suited for defeating Grand Widow Faerlina on our website, and the links are in the description below. This fight is quite hard, and even with a very good deck, you will probably have to have quite a few attempts to beat her. I hope that was helpful, and good luck!